Welcome back, traders. Today we're going to be going over 5 things that you can do for your psychology to help get you through a losing streak. So here recently, I went through a losing streak. It was tough and taught me a lot of things. Number one thing that we can do when we're going through a losing streak to help our psychology is open up our Bible. Get closer to God, talk to God, pray to God, and just ask Him, what you need to learn from this. Ask Him to give you comfort, give you understanding, wisdom. He says, ask for wisdom and it will be given. So, number one thing is we just need to be praying about it, making sure we're doing the right thing, making sure that we're not putting trading before God. So, hey, open up this thing. So, number two, second thing that we could be doing to help our psychology is get a hobby. Get off the charts. Quit spending all your time on the charts, in the markets, trying to figure it out. Watching 100 YouTube videos of how to trade, different strategies, different mindsets. Nothing wrong with getting different opinions, but a lot of opinions are based off of their strategy, and unless you're trading their strategy, sometimes their opinion towards the way they trade really doesn't even matter. So, get off the charts. Get a hobby. Go out and do something. Figure something else out to occupy your mind. Help get your mind off of those losses. And then come back to the market the next day, next week, take a trade. The third thing that we could be doing to help our psychology is, which ties into the last thing we went over, is get off the charts. Quit spending all your time on the charts. So yeah, for me, 1 trade a day, 3 losses in a row, I'm done trading for the week. Simple, easy. Pick a plan, have a plan, stick to it. It's going to help your psychology. It's going to help your obedience to the market, to what you're doing for your strategy. When you come into the market, you got to build that up. Repetition, you got to keep building it. Like anything else, you got to practice it to be able to get it down. Number 4, what we can do is forward test, back test. At least show up to the charts. Just because you show up doesn't mean you have to trade. You need to have it in your mind already. Hey, today I'm not trading. Test yourself. Come to the market. Find a setup if there's one even there. Mark it out and forward test. See what happens. Test yourself in that because it'll help build that strength up of not just taking random trades, not having to trade all the time. I had to do this last week. I already knew. Hey, I'm not taking a trade on Friday. Pretty simple. It might take some practice, but it's good to practice that. That way, when you do have those days where there's maybe not a setup for you, you're not getting that FOMO feeling and trying to take trades that aren't even there. So, good practice. And the 5th thing that we can do to help our psychology when we're in a losing streak is to remember why we're doing this. What is the goal for this? Like, are we trying to quit our day job, only trade, have more freedom? Are we trying to do this for our kids? Trying to do this for, hey, it could be an item, you want a new car, you're trying to learn how to trade so you can have a new car, whatever it is. What is the reason, the motivation behind trading? And just remember that. Have that in the back of your mind. Remember that you are doing this for a reason. And that is going to take some time. And you just got to slow it down. I believe if you slow it down, it'll happen faster. Because then you'll really be dialed in. You'll really be taking those quality setups. And those quality setups, the money will follow it later on. So when you're being in that rut of just taking losses and just feeling down, just remember why you're doing this. So I remember when I was going through my losing streak here recently, and I was just feeling down, feeling like I didn't know what I was doing, doubtful. And I just had to remember that, hey, I've been in this thing for this long. I ain't quitting. I learned a lot. I had some really good weeks, some good months, and therefore, we just had a little setback. You learn from it. And so I would say, hey, look at your losses, look at your wins. That's another thing we could be doing during that time that we're having a losing streak is get off the charts and quit trading for the week and look over and review our setups. that could be it. That could be that little bitty thing that is causing or part of the reason why you're in a losing streak. So I would say definitely reevaluate your or review your trades and see what the difference is, in the setups, in the way it looks, in what you're taking. So if you're not doing it, definitely document it. Take screenshots of your trades, preferably multiple time frames. File them so that way you can go and look at it. They have resources for you to subscriptions you can pay for and do all that, but you can do it yourself, and just see where you're at and why you're in the losing streak. If it's just the markets, if it's something you changed, because you can tweak that. Y'all need to hear it. I need to hear it. I know when I first started trading, like hearing things like this of what not to do or what typical beginners do, it actually stuck with me. So it's not the fact that I didn't do those things. I did those things, but whenever I did do those things, I remembered what I heard. Therefore, I learned from those mistakes faster, or I also knew what the mistake was because I already knew what I heard. Instead of just like starting from the beginning and not, you may not hear that about revenge trading or this and that, and you don't know nothing about it, and you're just trading and you don't catch it. But if you know about it, yeah, you might still do it. But when you do it and you take a loss, you're gonna know why you took a loss because it's right there. It's already in your head, and it just reminds me of growing up, as a teenager, and my dad coming to me and lecturing me, and it's not really a lecture. I mean, it was coming from love, but it was just repetitive. And I'm a teenager, so I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna do what I want to do, right? But those things he told me stuck. But I didn't remember those things until I ended up doing dumb stuff and getting in trouble. And then those words that he told me would come up, and I would learn from my mistake like almost instantly because it was already planted in me. That seed was already planted, regardless of at the time if I wanted to hear it or not. That seed was planted. Therefore, whenever the time came for that seed to grow and for me to recognize it, like it was already there. So I learned from my mistakes pretty darn fast as a teenager and young adult. Still did a lot of dumb stuff, but and so that's one thing with hearing some of this stuff is planting that seed. That way, when you do make that mistake, because you're probably going to make the mistake, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think what every beginner trader does, that you're going to remember. Whether I said it, someone else said it, you're going to remember, and therefore it's going to be easier for you to overcome that because it's already there. You already know it. Might not remember it at the time because emotions and stuff get in the way, but it's already there, and it's going to help you, and it's going to benefit you, and you're going to grow a lot faster in this trading journey because of hearing just words of wisdom from different traders. So I just want to leave y'all with that. I just want to say God bless y'all. Y'all have a good trading week, trading day, trading month, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.